cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Allí fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Allí fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó?
Nafal is our bus driver and also our abuelito favorito because he's our favorite grandfather ever. He is probably 65 years old, I might say, and he is also our hero because when our bus broke down on the way back from Las Terrazas to Pinal del Rio, our bus broke down and he had grease up to his elbows trying to fix our belt, which Heather and I found and brought to him, but it was useless because it was broken. And he saved the day and he has driven us everywhere with his amazing sunglasses. And he doesn't speak a word of English, but he did teach during the literacy campaign with Fidel Castro in the 1960s. So he's a hero on many levels, and we love Nafal, the driver.
Today we went to a sheltered workshop for people with different physical and mental disabilities where they do a variety of tasks, anything from making boxes to sewing clothes, and it's a place for them to come and not only work and earn money and have that sense of pride that they're working and they're just like everyone else in society, but also it kind of was a place for them to mingle and talk to each other. And you could tell like one woman had her husband there, and I'm not sure if they met there or how that worked, but they both were working there. I feel like this is really nice that they were able to put this place together and have them work and they receive a salary just like everyone else, and it's just they're doing great work. That it was amazing looking at they were doing boxes today, and the boxes were just like perfect. It was like almost as if they were done like out of a machine because they were so perfect, and they just were really inspiring. And the people who worked there were inspiring too, because you could tell how passionate they were about it and how proud. I just really felt a sense of pride from the administrator.
We've seen some incredible things today. We saw an educational television channel funded by the government that actually provides lots of great, truthful history, political culture, astronomy, biology, mathematics. One of the most inspiring components was the Yo Si Puedo reading literacy program, which they've used to eradicate literacy in many other parts of Latin America, including Venezuela, Bolivia, Nicaragua, all countries that are part of the ALBA Alliance, the Anti-Imperialist Alliance. Also, they said they're doing it in Haiti, in Tanzania, Brazil, Portugal. They have it in 4 or 5 indigenous languages. Very inspiring. The education system seems phenomenal. The fact that they have free medical school and free health care is unbelievable.
Okay, so there are murals in Philadelphia. There's a mural arts program, like Philly is known for that, so I'm used to seeing art in the city, which I think is a really cool thing to have in any city. But that's a city program, like it's managed, there's a bureaucracy. And I think to see a community where there's not just murals, but sculptures, that people are incorporating things that are supposed to be trash, like an old typewriter becomes part of the sculpture. Hubcaps get spray painted and become this huge art installations, like on corners or in spaces where there's nothing or in spaces where there's just grass. That's something that people spontaneously decided to do for themselves to beautify their community because they thought that would change how they felt about their neighborhood and how they felt about their lives and their place in the city. I just thought that was incredibly moving. A thing I never even considered before until we get here and all these artists are talking about how rewarding and affirming and life transforming it is to be an artist and to be able to express themselves with just anything they can get their hands on, and to have that go anywhere there's space for it. Like it's just they are making art out of their surroundings just to put out in the universe. Like, that's okay. It's just, it amazes me.
I found this experience of this trip to Cuba to be enlightening in a number of ways. I did not know what to expect other than what I had read in American written and published travel guides. A lot of it was accurate, a lot of it has to be experienced firsthand. For example, I was inspired by how the Cubans in general seem to do quite well with limited resources, limited food availability, limited availability of products in the United States we take for granted. They simply do without some things, but yet manage pretty well. The embargo should be lifted, no question about that. I never had any doubt about that. I feel more passionately about it now than ever before. I found the most inspirational part of this entire trip probably to come midway through at the Las Terrazas Sustainable Community in western Cuba. I was impressed by the way of life, by how food was provided there. The residents provided their food, grew their own food, had animals, just a very community-oriented concept that I'm not sure would work in the United States, or I'm not sure many people would even be interested in that, but it has to be experienced. I found the concept of the revolution and this seeing throughout the city wall murals that were in the 52nd year, going into the 52nd year of the revolution. It's really a key thing to Cubans, and they keep commemorating it. You cannot turn around in Havana without seeing a statue or a picture of Fidel Castro, Jose Marti, so on and so on.
Hello, Global Exchange. We are here today in Cuba. Tomorrow is our last day, our last full day in Cuba. And I wanted to leave you all with a little message from Sarah. Now, she told me these things, and she wants us to remember these things when we go back to the States. So, please remember, don't be naive, okay? Because you are not a priority, okay? Sarah, we will always remember this from you. My favorite quote from Sarah is when she tells us about if we see someone on the street who is a white person. She says, just show me your grandmother. Because many people, their grandmothers were slaves, or they were Chinese, or they were from many other cultures, and the Cuban people are very colorful people. And that's my favorite quote from Sarah.
Our itinerary said that we will be going to a home for children without family support, which most of us took to mean an orphanage. But when we arrived, we realized that it probably is much more of the former and a lot less of our conception of the latter. The kids were ages, I'd say 9 to 18, and there was no, seems odd to say, but there was really no shame about their situations, the fact that they weren't with families, because they really did feel like they were family all together. Just seeing the way they interacted with each other from the beginning, the way they talked to each other, the way they treated each other without sort of stepping on toes, and little things like pats on the shoulder, or the older ones, kind of stroking the hair of the smaller ones, really just gave us the impression that this was going to be a lot different than what we'd expect. And throwing the frisbee, throwing the baseball, kicking a deflated basketball like a soccer ball, just laughing and running around in the mud and the grass was just a blessing, I really would say, to us. And got very surprisingly attached in a very short time. We would like to think that we were visiting kids who didn't have much, but truth be told, we probably received more from them than we ever could have given to the home. Somebody else mentioned that it might have been the best day on the trip, and it's definitely one of the things that, more than the economics and the politics and those changes that are to come, I think there's sort of a special place to think about, those children and how they grow up, and judging by the start that they've got in the family, the true and sincere family they've got surrounding them, and the people who just take care of them in every sense of the word. There's a lot of hope that they're just going to be all right. It's one of the things I think all of us will look back fondly upon when we flip through our pictures or talk about our trip to our first trips to Cuba. So, special day.
When I booked this tour with Global Exchange, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Education, healthcare in Cuba. I was just excited that I had the opportunity to go to Cuba. We had lots of meetings with education professionals, healthcare professionals, and every one of those meetings was fascinating, and we met so many wonderful people. I felt that our group didn't shy away from asking any question about Cuban society, and the professionals that we met, I thought they were open and honest in their responses. One of my favorite experiences was the Down Syndrome Project for young adults. Two artists started this project because their daughter, Diana, has Down syndrome. The young adults, there were 3 of them that we met, were taught how to create artwork that was quite remarkable. All the artwork is for sale. Having started my career in special education, this project was very, very dear to my heart. I did purchase a print from Laura, and she titled it "For Hope and Love for All the Children with Down Syndrome." This experience was truly remarkable, and I will always treasure my time with those young adults.
Y si lo llego a lograr, seré un guajiro dichoso. A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte.
Check it, y'all. It's obvious me and Mario gonna fight homelessness and joblessness. Battle Miami lobbyists, not a pacifist. Prominent community activist, passionate, challenge the establishment, working as a catalyst for change. Profit versus people was the obvious debate.
Once again, I has come breaking silent, talking on the Cuban day, defending our flag, offering the best of my feeling to you. I would like to speak about my country with you. It is true what people say, Cuba, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. For what I feel very proud living here, also showing you what really means to choose Cuba every day. Here you could find good friendship that you could not forget in the part of the time. Keep open your eyes, keep open your mind. Around Cuba, let's take a flight, let's take a flight. There isn't any country in the world as mine. There isn't any flat as beautiful as mine. I know you'd like it to live in my country. I miss it in your eyes.
Alright, y'all, cause we just that urban adolescents developing spiritual essence, injecting lyrical blessings, releasing aggression and relieving oppression. In the deepest recession since the depression, got a rhyming obsession since this historic election. Had a question for Obama the second he stepped in. Will he keep giving the weapons to the highest oppressors, bankers and private investors? No one's providing protection for the poorest. Unemployment reach a higher percentage.
Yo en español yo te voy a cantar para defender el control. Te voy a decir de los despidos como están estando dos americanos y un cubano Estados Unidos. Tú sabes que con Cuba yo te voy a descargar. Tú sabes que te digo de sentimientos raperos. Están cantando un americano y un cubano para el mundo entero. Tú sabes que te estoy descargando, que te estoy improvisando con este chama. Mira, si tú quieres vamos a seguir andando como los raperos. Yo te voy a demostrar que lo que tengo es corazón para darte y para improvisar. Tú sabes que te digo con sentimientos bien raperos. Nos unimos tú y yo para cantarle al mundo entero.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto voy para Mayarín. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto voy para Mayarín. a Puerto voy